My sisters and brothers in Jesus Christ. Now, last Sunday we heard Jesus is called to love our enemies. Love for one's enemies is a very touchstone of being a Christian. Such love is possible if you remember who we are and whose we are. We are children of God and we belong to Him only. The Gospel reading of this Sunday and the other readings also speak to us more about choosing God's way in relating to those around us. They call us to think and speak well of others, to be gracious and generous in interpreting other people's behavior. So instead of being judgmental of others, let us recognize our imperfections, failures, and sins, and strive to correct them. That will enable us to help others with similar tendencies rather than passing judgment on them. The readings today give us very practical guidance to love others, including our enemies. Friends, in this context of fraternal corrections and avoiding rash judgment, let me speak to you about today's second collection for the Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, the congregation to which I belong to. First, I would like to thank Father Jesse, our pastor, and the clergy and the parish staff and all community for allowing this second collection for us. 2 years ago, we had taken a collection and it was great. I do thank you for your generosity. The Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales is an international congregation established in the year 1838 in Annecy, France, by the servant of God, Father Peter Mary Marmier, under the patronage of St. Francis de Sales. In the year 1845, Rome sent our missionaries to India for evangelization. There it grew in number and in various ministries. Today, all over the world, we are 1,300 priests and 900 seminarians at the various stages of formation. We work in different countries like United States, Europe, India, Australia, and several countries in Africa and in Philippines. I belong to the southwest province of India. It has 265 priests and around 300 seminarians. We work in many parts of India, especially the states of Karnataka and Kerala, the southern states, besides having mission in Philippines, Chad, and Cameroon. We have many young men undergoing formation to become priests in different houses in India, Philippines, Chad, and Cameroon. Annually, we have 6 to 7 new priests. The major concern of the provincial superior is to meet the financial expenses of the seminarians and financial support for the new mission undertaking, like building prayer huts churches, educational institutions, and healthcare facilities that support the evangelization. Well, I am called Father Mathew, MSFS, and MSFS stands for Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales. From the year 2001 to this day, I am working in the Archdiocese in many parishes as parochial vicar. I worked in 3 other parishes besides St. Anthony of Padua. There are 7 priests from my congregation working in Galveston, Houston since many years. In 2001, when I came, I was the only MSFS in Galveston, Houston. Now we have 7. And at that time, we were only 7 MSFS priests working in United States. Now we have 70 priests working in various dioceses of the United States from the various provinces of India and Africa. St. Thomas Aquinas Parish in the West Belfort has been entrusted to us in the past 10 years. I know that you all love Father George Vatapara and Jason. They both worked here. Father Jason is in St. Lawrence Parish, and Father George is back in India, working as a pastor in one of the parishes in Kerala. During my home visit, I spent 2 days with him. While talking about many things, I also talked to him about the second collection promised. And he told me to remind the people that you have been generous while he was here. So if the collection goes down, they may blame me saying Father Mathew is not doing good enough. And I hope the provincial superior will not act on that very sternly. Friends, today's second collection will be used to build a home for the retiring priests of the province within 3 years. My province has 265 priests, out of which 20 priests are already above 70 years of old. By next 3 years, the number will be much higher. So we need to build a house for 15 to 20 priests with reasonable conveniences, which will serve as a future home for Fathers Mathew, George, Jason, and many other fathers working in this archdiocese, and those retiring from India as well from Africa. The rough estimate would be little over $1 million. And the congregation will generate 50% of the total cost. The rest we hope to collect through donations from within and outside the country. Well, I am personally interested as I am looking forward to my retirement after a few years. So please be generous in your contribution to the second collection. I can go on telling lots of things about the various things, even other than this retirement home. But I know the longer I spend in this AMPO, lesser and lesser would be the second collection. But I promise I can let know many things during the course of the year, or you can meet me outside the church, or email me or telephone me that you will get more information. One challenge I would like to place before you as we begin the season of Lent. Lent is a time for making personal sacrifices and mortification. I wonder whether we could save $1 a day, 7 a week, 30 a month, and 365 over a year, and contribute that for some good cause, even within our parish or maybe for the retirement home. And saving $1 is not going to be very difficult for an individual or a family. It means saving few soft drinks, maybe few cigarettes, maybe ice cream on a day or two in a month, maybe a happy hour, or maybe a lunch out or a dinner out. But when we know that it is going to be for a good cause, for the growth of the church and people around the world, I think you will be enthused about it. So, once again, please be generous in your contribution, and please pray for the Missionaries of St. Francis de Sales. And we, the missionaries, in turn, will pray for your intention. Once again, I thank you for your generous contribution. Saint Anthony of Padua,